Nation, Guru Nation, Guru Nation, Guru Nation. Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. And also, if you're listening, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. We got a very special one today. We're also live on TikTok. So before they ban it, go follow me. It's Dan Sfera, my real name there. And if you're on TikTok, share this right now. Thank you very much. We got 3 coordinators. Well, 4 if you count me, guys. Coordinators. And they've been now, Lana's been here over 7 months. Mm-hmm. Did I say like 6? Luis?
Almost 4.
Almost 4. Wow. And we're going to talk about CRC life and what it's like, especially at a company that's growing. So I think we're nowhere near like as big as we can be, but we can talk about things like scheduling patient, how you deal with the patients, the systems we use. Maybe we go around and ask everyone, now that you've been here, like, what did you think about research before versus now? Before you started here versus now. Wow. Whoever wants to go first.
When I started, I didn't really know much about research. Just did a quick little Google search.
Yeah, you were unprepared, I guess, for that interview.
Figured out as much as I could. Searched up Dan.
Lana was prepared.
I was very well prepared.
I mean, I've never heard of research before, so I didn't know.
So you didn't know what to expect, but you were a phlebotomist.
Right.
You still are, but at the time you were like, that's all you were doing.
Right.
And you just saw something that you thought was interesting. And now that you've been here 6 months.
I love it. It's nothing I expected. There's a lot more patient communication than I expected. And there's a lot of things that go into research that I did not know was even like a part of clinical research. So it's been pretty cool getting to learn all the aspects of it and how far it can go.
Okay, what about you?
I mean, I'm always prepared because
Lana was prepared in the interview.
I research before I do anything, especially when something that being born and raised here, I wasn't aware that we had, any kind of clinical trial research even being, around or even being practiced. And so when I saw the job opportunity, I thought it was, obviously I had to do my research because I'm just going to walk into a building blind. And knowing, just from what I've just been being around in the medical field already, like, yeah, clinical research, has been brought up. But like I said, just being born and raised here and just about knowing every crevice of this town, I did not know that we had this. And it was actually a blessing to me to be, a part of this, to, see where it can go and how big it can grow. And to me, I thought it was exciting.
But what do you think about it now?
And now that I'm here, I mean, it's still exciting.
Is it easier than you thought, harder than you thought, or it's obviously different than you thought? Everyone says that. But
the consistency of it, I'd say, is hard to get, being on top of everything and, on top of appointments and visits and labs and, you got to meet certain deadlines, and that can, sometimes, be a little much. But I mean, I'm a post-it girl, so I just post it and remove. And as long as, it's organized up here and, in my own way, eventually it will get done.
What about you, Luis? 4 months?
4 months already. And the previous background that I have for research was just laboratory work. So back then I was in Mexico and I was finishing my university. And and the only research background that I have just was laboratory work. And then I got this job opportunity too, and I look for it, just like what is like the clinical trials and what is the research in the United States. So yeah, I look for it, and it's different since there.
Than your average healthcare job.
Oh, yeah, by far. So what about
definite.
The way they're making these studies, like the spawn, when I say they, I mean the drug companies, they one of the popular things to do on LinkedIn for the last year is talk about the site experience. Like, we want to make sure the coordinators have a good experience using these tools because it's going to make their job easier to get patients. But the problem is, like, the people that are saying these things never really worked at a site, so they don't know what it's like. So they just have to imagine, I think a coordinator would need this. And then sometimes you get tools that are not really useful. And now what they've started doing, you guys have seen some people come already for the ones I'm advisor for and try to actually see. But what do you think is missing, like, from the sponsors' perspective when it comes to making CRC life easier? They're trying, but I think they're actually making it harder.
Well, I think they definitely got to step a day in our shoes to see how they can make our lives easier.
What do you think they would be most surprised with then?
Probably the amount of like filing and paperwork and
Data.
contacting.
Data, yeah.
Yeah,
I
they.
feel like there's a lot of it's data because we can only input so much, as a CRC, and sometimes it's not up to their standards or whatever they're working with. Like I said, I know they have their own idea of
Like criteria.
right that they follow too, or protocols. I'm pretty sure they have things they have to follow, but it's just from our side, we can only input so much, and it's a lot of it's vague. So we had to think outside the box to make sure that this doesn't come back queried, or how can I word this so that everybody understands? Because there's certain stuff that like when a patient tells you something, only you know how to comprehend that because you were there. Now to portray that back to like in a progress note or back to a monitor, it's a little bit different because
Or in the EDC.
correct, you can only put so much, you can only input so much, and they only give you so much to
Until you get queried.
correct. So I just feel like like Gracia said, like they need to walk a day in our shoes and see what it's like. Because
What do you think they would actually see though? Let's say they did what they did, like Friday we have a busy day, so let's say that somebody from one of the sponsors, which we won't name, came in Friday and shadowed you. What do you think what would be
probably
their
be exhausted.
observations?
they're probably because it's with us, it's just not one thing. It's like you do one thing and you bounce to another one, you bounce to another one. So to keep up with that, as someone who was to shadow us, they'd probably leave really confused. Because I know on my first day, I shadowed
Even
you,
if
Dan.
it's their own study.
Right. I shadowed you, Dan, on my first day, and I went home and I thought to myself, what the heck just happened? Like, what was that?
What did you
And
get
like,
into?
to me, like I was keeping up. I thought, I would like to think that I was keeping up, but at the same time, I went home and just, is that my day-to-day life? Is that what it's going to be like? But then, just your first day, you don't know anything, especially, in research. You can be hit with just about anything that day. We had, I think that day, on my first day, we saw like 4 patients back to back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, who did the scheduling on this? Because now, like, we know
I think that
now.
would have been me.
We know now,
Sounds like that.
we like to, not overwhelm ourselves seeing people back to back, but, little gaps here and there. But I mean, that day I went home. I asked myself, can I do this? Like mentally, like if this is what my first day was like.
But what do you think the sponsors would feel? Like you say, overwhelmed. They
Right.
would be, even if it's their own study, they know the study well.
I know sponsors are overwhelmed. If I get that, and that's why I understand that. But at the same time, it's I feel as though they'll be just as lost as I was coming in my
On the
first
first
day.
day.
Yeah, you're lost. You don't know. You're getting people
It'd be
thrown
nice
at
if
you.
they saw how all their systems interacted during a visit when the patient wants to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the patient's in a hurry.
happens.
That will be important for them to see.
Yeah.
They will be more aware on the details that we're doing every day.
because they don't work with patients.
No.
Yeah.
So for them to actually follow us for a day, realize that like sometimes patients, they're not always cooperative, or they
Well, whenever they design a study, these sponsors who never spent a day at a site, they always talk about the patient journey. Like, let's think about the patient journey from screening till the last visit and everything that entails, including diaries in between that, you guys know some are not compliant. That one person came today, wasn't compliant, right, with the diary.
correct.
To chase them around for like 2 weeks. So
And
The
who has to
recruitment
do
part.
that?
We do.
The coordinators.
Yeah.
You know,
So
they lose devices or didn't take IP.
do you
or,
think a
Don't know
technology
how to
can help?
log in.
Do you think there's any tech that could help with that hasn't been
Tech?
invented yet? With any part of your job?
Well, with any part, I'm sure there's tech that could be.
Not the data entry thing.
Producer
We can't
data
talk about
entry.
that. We can't talk about that yet. Not that one. Not that one.
Uh,
Besides that one. We already got a solution for that one coming.
I mean, I wish there was more like a blood related tech, you know, where we, you know, where it kind of just does its
Less tubes, same test.
correct.
Like Theranos.
Or, you know, with the fact that we're drawing, like, you know, like she said, the whole rainbow on, you know, when we randomize somebody.
11
and,
tubes, yeah.
yeah, make,
no,
you know,
I think
group,
it's been more like 16.
group those tubes so that, you know, we're not taking that much or, you know, processing that much. Cause
So you think they're not thinking about the patients?
no.
They're also not thinking about time saving because if you really think about it, well, me that I draw the blood most of the time is when we do start a new study, I have to look through the lab manual and I have to see what tests are actually necessary or what's like optional. So I think if they could also like work on that or find a way to separate
How would they?
that. I don't know. I mean,
Or like merge the tubes, like, you know, find something where, you know, we're not pulling you know, I
That
feel like
many tubes.
correct for, you know, whether it's chemistry, hematology, like merge the two. Anything that's ambient, merge it. Anything that's frozen, merge it. I'm not saying like merge all of them, but, you know, make it a reasonable amount of tubes where, you know, we're not centrifuging
What about like
every 15 minutes.
what about the way IRBs communicate to you? Like I asked you guys today, one of our studies has an informed consent amendment that we have
The
to
limited
sign.
access that we do get to. And because sometimes I feel like it's not, you know, our lead's fault or, you know, it's not anything that we do, you guys do. It's what we're allowed access to. I feel like, you
So
know,
we need to get access
once
to
we're
more.
CRCs and, you know, we're out there, we should be able to, you know, access and
To have access to all the
be
different
informed
things.
of everything that's going on, especially an informed consent.
I agree. Some sponsors like refuse to
They
add
limit
too
the
many
access.
people. Yeah, which is if you have a lot of people on your team, and we don't even have a lot of people.
But sometimes the message isn't relayed because, you know, our lead could already have, you know, so much on their plate as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, especially, you know, it's an informed consent. Like that needs to be let know.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Right.
And, you know, we don't get those emails.
And the same IRB will spam you about their next conference.
Correct.
I get spams from the IRB, not important emails. I get the spam. Join us for our next conference and early bird and pay only this. I get
feel
those
like- I feel
emails,
like the
no
IRB
problem.
needs some improvement too, as
Yeah,
far
they
as
do.
maneuvering around it and where to find like the source itself. It's very vague.
In the IRB?
Correct.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
What about you? What do you think the sponsors would discover if they shadowed you on a visit?
And probably like the same just with the patients. And I mean, they will be more aware about the things that the CRC is doing every day, each day. I mean, about the time that everything comes to finish things there, even in the e-source, in the paperwork, finishing visits, taking care of the patient that if he's like doing all the information, if he's filling everything, I don't know.
Yeah, I wish there was like one dashboard like Creo has, but tied into all the vendors so you can see like what's missing still. Like one of the things I look at manually with my eyes is like for the study we have for depression, who's in screening, are we close to like that second visit?
so like a checklist or a progress bar.
Yeah, like something like a dashboard where
Progress bar. You know,
yeah,
that'd be
like
nice.
IRT is missing, but like all in one place,
Right.
like a dashboard. Because right now you have to go to like 10 different places
Yeah.
to get information. Creo is
So
supposed to be
minimize
like
that to one
Yeah.
where it branches off, but you're still in the original source.
yeah, and like one place, like single login. That's what a lot of people are trying
I would
to do.
like that. Not gonna lie, a single login would
For
be
everything.
fantastic.
Yeah, well, Viva, they're a sponsor, is trying to work on that, but it would be
Shout out
with
to
the
Viva.
only Viva products though. But they kind of have everything. They have EDC. You guys use them for one study. They have EREG. They could probably do it for IRB, IRT. I think they have that.
The one login would be nice.
Yeah, instead of having like that many different. I think a dashboard that integrates with all this stuff and tells you like, you want to see why this patient's not at their next visit. Why?
All of this is missing.
You know, yeah, like this is what you're missing. You still need a safer. You still need like it'll tell you everything instead of like having to remember or read your notes or just look in like 10 different places to find
So I
out.
have it already structured to where it tells you, since
Yeah, like
you haven't done
workflow.
this is missing. You haven't done this
Workflow,
is
yeah.
missing. Yeah.
The problem is the tech companies don't like really play well with each other. So they don't have like an incentive until one becomes big enough. But I think that would be like a really good thing. And maybe Viva is getting close to doing that. What about interacting with patients? Do you think, what have been your experiences so far? You think patients overall are happy when they join studies or?
I mean, yeah. Obviously, it's different because I didn't think about that I was going to be treating with patients since I got here at the job. I mean, yeah,
Since day one.
Since day one, and since day one, I've been treating with patients, and it was like overwhelming to me because it was just the first day. So I was like, oh my god,
They're
But I
generally nice?
Yeah, I mean,
Generally, except yesterday?
most of them, they're pretty nice people to deal with.
The vast majority.
The best majority, yeah.
And everyone's understanding. I feel like, you know, it's not only new to them, it's still new to us. So we're not perfect, and we still have, especially when a study's new, you know, we're still learning. And a lot of our patients have been very patient with us, and you understand that, you know, this is a new study, or this is, you know, new study, and they understand that. There haven't been any complaints on, you know, like, well, what are you guys doing? Why do you guys have your stuff together? Because sometimes, you know, we get hit with stuff the day of, that morning of, we get hit with, hey, you can't do it this way, you have to do it this way. So we have to stop what way we're used to and do it, you know,
and
whoever's
usually
way.
it's a sponsor or CRA telling
Correct.
you.
So I mean, the fact that, you know, there'll be little pauses in between our visits because we're trying to figure something out. You know, it's you know, I'm grateful that, you know, we do have very patient patients and that are willing to work with us and understand that, you know, it's new to us, it's new to you too, and please bear with us.
If you were, because you guys have made like any major mistakes yet?
Not in the
Individually?
last 3 months.
None?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Has to.
I can't remember what happened yesterday. I really don't know. But so it seems like nothing yet, huh?
No, nothing.
Okay.
You know.
What advice, if you were starting over today
We,
as a
we
brand
actually
new,
catch it now. We know to catch it
right?
before we make that
This is
mistake
my next
now.
question.
Yeah.
So if you were starting over today, but you can give your new self advice,
Oh yeah.
what would you tell yourself?
If you don't know, ask
I've heard that from someone before.
and double check.
Double check,
All
yeah. Don't
the
get clicker happy
time.
either. Because I have times when I'm just, hey, I hit submit and I wasn't ready yet. And
Oh yeah, and then it's
and you can't
a
backtrack
long
after that.
process to-
It's a long process,
especially
to
when
get
you
that
enter
back.
data to like the EDC or something, you know, once you click OK and you're just like, crap.
So
That
knowing
wasn't
what
what I
you
was
know
supposed to
now,
put.
if you were able to talk to yourself on your first day, you would tell yourself, don't be click happy.
Correct.
That's like the main thing you would tell yourself.
For myself.
Seriously,
just
wow.
me.
And you?
Yeah, to double check.
Double check.
Double
So
check.
it's more detailed than you thought.
Yeah, double
Yes.
check and just.
You had one today similar where we were like caught off guard
With who?
on a thing.
With
The thing,
what?
the thing today.
The thing.
We have to
There was many
communicate through
things.
eyes. The thing you did where we were like later, we're like, oh yeah, oops.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that wasn't really my fault.
It's the way the test is designed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't get into it. All right. More attention to detail than any of
More
us think.
attention to detail, definitely.
And then you would give yourself advice day one, what
Of
you know
course, I
now.
will say to me like avoid being shy and
Aw.
just being like triple checking everything. Not double,
Triple,
just
not double.
triple for
Not
me.
double,
Not double.
That's a
It
microaggression.
will be for but for myself.
the
but yeah,
microaggression is
and
real.
just let it flow and don't be anxious about it.
You were anxious?
I feel like
At the beginning, yeah.
we tend to.
You guys were
overthink
all
things.
anxious?
We overthink. I know I overthought it.
Oh, I've definitely overthought some stuff. Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that was
You
it.
think that's good or not good?
Yeah, but it's
No,
just for
because
think that?
sometimes it makes you
You psych
little
yourself out.
scared.
You
yeah,
doubt
but
yourself.
in the end, I mean, it's fine.
In the end, better safe than sorry,
Yeah.
I think. But it doesn't mean you should be anxious either. There's a fine line.
yeah. There's a fine line, but yeah, those will be my advices.
What about interacting with monitors? How's that
Fun.
been?
I say that with a smile on my face.
I'm doing a podcast with one of them soon. I've done a pod with all of them, but like an official one like this with one.
It's very day and night as far as a CRC and a CRA. That's just to me because they
What do
don't
you mean?
because they don't see patients. They don't.
Right.
They do data, yes, but
Do you believe that the best CRAs were former CRCs? Because some, can you tell the difference? Because
Of
some
course.
never
You
were.
can tell the
you
difference.
can tell
can,
the
right
difference
away.
because they're
Yeah.
understanding and they're willing to work with you.
Give me an example.
Rather opposed
well,
to
not
like,
like
me
details,
coming
but-
to a problem.
Give me an example without naming names.
Me coming to a problem
with your eyes.
with someone who started off CRA is they're not seeing what's it called, the production part of it, like the backstage.
They're just seeing what's in the data. Like
they only
EDC.
see the stage. That's all they see. They don't see cameras, lights, all that comes with putting on this production, aka the trial, and they don't see what we go through, what we get hit with, and the fact that sometimes when we put certain stuff in that it's just it's out of our hands, and that's when when you come to like a monitor, if they've been a CRC, they understand. Hey, okay, I know this situation.
So you've dealt with those ones too?
Let's try this. They give us another like a scenario, and where we can work with that. Whether opposed to you can tell someone who hasn't been a CRC just hit you with one after the other after the
see.
other. When
Yeah.
the ones who have been CRC, they know. So
And
they
you're about to meet a couple more because we're about to start new studies pretty soon.
Yes, I'm excited.
Like a new wave of
That'll
studies.
be fun.
Luis has one study where it's just him on it.
Yeah,
I know.
And eventually we're all going to have to learn it, but we're going to start
Eventually, but not now.
eventually when we're having
when we get a
patients.
patient.
Yeah, we're running ads for it right now. Hopefully they start coming in soon. What about, so you can tell former CRC become CRA. You can tell right away.
Well, yeah, I think the ones who aren't former are more like, okay, they kind of throw you, do this, fix that, but they don't tell you how or what you could do. But the ones who are will be like,
There's
okay,
an explanation.
Yeah.
This is not how you do this, but let me teach you how to do it the correct way.
You've had someone do that?
Yeah.
They give you a scenario.
Just first
because
name.
That scenario
Who's
didn't
the
work.
first name?
No names here.
Okay.
I plead the fifth.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to guess now.
Look at my
Okay.
eyes. Just kidding.
I got it.
But that's the thing is like they gave because that scenario didn't work. Whatever we submitted, they're like, hey, let's try this, do this because this, and this.
Do you think like when do you have any favorite series or they're all the same to you?
I mean, no, I already I don't have a favorite. No, but yeah, I already like ask monitors like for help. Like I just want to have this patient, and I'm just asking questions for the monitor, and the monitor is like, okay, he's just like he or she. I mean, just keeping asking questions about it, and at the end of the day, they don't see like the problem, and they try to solve it the way that I cannot do it. I don't know if I.
They're not
it would be like
understanding.
the same. Yeah, it's not the same.
or the ones that follow up. So when you come with them with a question and the ones that respond immediately, and then not only do they respond, they follow up. I like those kinds of monitors where, like, hey, this happened the other day. Did everything get fixed? And then they'll check on their end. Oh, okay, I got it. Everything looks good now. Thank you.
Because we have some monitors who take weeks to respond.
Do you think you guys would be good monitors?
Not yet.
I think I
Not yet,
understand.
Not yet.
I
How
would,
much longer you think you need?
I think another 6 months.
another 6 months.
And Gress is a fast learner. Most people, they say the standard is like 2 years as a CRC before they even consider you as a CRA with a bachelor's degree. Without a bachelor, it takes a little longer. They do. They got a lot.
I know I'd probably be like an understanding CRA, that's for sure, because I've done.
But what if you're getting pressure from your boss and the site you're emailing,
Sorry, CRC.
they're not responding or they're not doing it, and then your boss telling you, hey, you're the monitor, you need to go fix it.
Yeah, I get where frustrations can come in for them because
Right. Because
They get
we all have a
pressure.
boss.
I've been a CRA.
not
I've
all
been a CRA.
sites are as good as we are. You know, we,
One of
we'll
our
get an
guys said
email
we're
and
one of the best.
We'll work on it right then and there. So I'm sure there's sites that won't do that.
Ignore.
Ignore, yes.
Yeah.
Well, because it would be like the same team with like 20 studies.
Yeah. Or just ignorant.
That
But
too. Or lazy.
or lazy.
Laziness, yes. I give them that because I've met a lazy CRA, and where at one point I thought I was doing their work for a second, and I was like, wait. I was like, why am I doing this? But me being the kind-hearted person, I did it.
And they like you.
Yeah, I don't have beef with any of us.
No, not the beef.
And then as far as
I kill him with kindness.
the doctors are concerned, easy to work. We've only really worked with like 2 of our 5 because one, we've been trying to get him a study for a while. We're going to have 2 pretty soon. And then the other 2 are brand new, but we might get an asthma study for one of them. What have been your experiences so far with the PIs that you've worked with?
So far, that we've worked with,
Yeah.
I mean, all good experiences.
And I know that they're busy too. So to me, it's like I know they have a lot on their plate, and for us to come to them for something that
Yeah, I can learn to appreciate when they give us their time because I know they're
'Cause we're not
busy
the only
with
They're
their
thing they do.
patients.
busy.
Yes.
These guys in Yuma are busy.
So I take that into consideration too. And
Sometimes I have to poke a little bit and wait outside their door and be like, okay, like I need 10 minutes. But it gets done.
Yeah.
It gets done and they don't mind. I mean, they're just busy.
So what, as we wrap up here, I mean, this is like, there's going to be tech vendors watching. I think they got some ideas for that dashboard. If anyone wants to make a
Please.
dashboard that plugs into everything, I'll be an advisor. But anything else you can think of? You said the blood technology, but I don't know if that's changing anytime soon.
No, probably not. Probably not anytime soon.
but at least merging
That's very
the
tricky.
tubes.
Laboratory work is very
Yeah.
It
To
is.
get accurate,
Yeah.
you need your own trials on those, like to see if it's accurate. And for those trials, you're going to need all the tubes and another group. Well, actually, you'd have to do it on the same person the same day.
It's just getting that response from from a patient. Oh, that many tubes.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna walk
the
out of
amount
here
of times I've heard that
passing
since I
out.
started.
That's very common. huh?
Very common, almost a daily occurrence.
The person who's coming Friday asked me the same thing.
Yeah.
How many
and-
tubes on Friday? I was like, I don't know.
And she could wait until her Oh, is this her second visit?
Yeah.
Whoo, 16 tubes and counting.
Wow. I told her hopefully not as many as the first visit.
No, it's double.
Yeah,
It's
even
literally
worse.
double.
Do you think the industry does enough to keep the patients
Happy?
happy or engaged? Like, you think the payment's enough, or do you think they should
Oh,
do more
yeah.
things?
Oh yeah, everyone's even
Everyone's
shocked that
happy.
they get
Payment is
paid.
enough.
They're all, what? I'm getting paid.
Okay,
Yes.
so besides the pay, then if that's fine, what else can the industry do, like sponsors do to make it easier for
well,
patients?
I remember, if even from like the beginning, there were like certain incentives that would go out. Like for one
Mini
of our
fridges.
right.
Oh, yeah.
for certain things like that.
They
I feel like
changed that now, you
they're
know
not.
that?
Yeah, it's not how
We
it
have to
what?
buy it, and then we have to get it reimbursed.
Come on, they can't just ship it out.
No.
Or it's something where like I feel like to appreciate the patient, minus getting paid, but like little incentives like stickers or send
Not the stickers.
something
Stickers.
Exactly.
DRP, Daniel Rodriguez photo
a
video
certain
right here.
company,
Plug.
and so that at least
Sponsored by.
right.
What about this? What can sites do? Because one of the things I've been thinking we need to do once we get that database in Creo figured out is send birthday texts.
Well, if you think about it, we kind of already do have an incentive for one of our trials.
We do
Uh-huh.
with the nail people.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Free-
that's what we're doing.
free
And
set.
technically, if you ask like 10 IRBs, 10 will give you a different answer, and that's okay or not. We'll do it anyways because it's after the study. But
Right.
what about like birthday reminders or like happy birthday text? Because we don't do that yet, but I'm thinking how to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure those are like little things that patients would
appreciate.
appreciate.
But how would
Yeah.
we do it? Like a small team.
Through Korea.
It's probably someone's birthday right now. We didn't text.
Through Korea. It will be
Yeah,
easier.
I guess we just gotta look through all our patients
through
and see
e-source.
whose
Yeah.
birthday
Well, how are
it
you
is
gonna do that
every day.
manually? No one's gonna do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It needs to
I
be
get
set up
you.
somehow. Stuff like that.
We gotta find a way.
Yeah.
There's a way.
There's
New
always a
test,
way to do
guys.
Because
something.
I get emails, happy birthday emails from banks. I get happy birthday emails from my credit cards.
Because you registered somewhere and they know. So
Correct.
like there should be a way for us to.
So like maybe through the IWS, they can
or through
extend
Creo,
that out.
'cause
Yeah,
we put all that info in there.
exactly.
Creo should release a happy birthday feature. I'm gonna call Raymond.
Creo
With a-
should
with a
have a
little
happy
cake.
birthday feature.
Yeah.
Little confetti.
That'd be cute.
That's actually a good idea. I need to call Ray anyways. Anything else we missed? What is your goals like long term? I know yours already.
Wow, that's a
Yours is
pretty
tough.
a deep question. Yeah.
It is deep.
But long term, I don't know. It's like being much better than I am right now. It's like, obviously, I want to be such as, I don't know, a CRA, a monitor. I mean,
You would
with
be a
the
good
time.
monitor. I think you'd be a good
Yeah,
one.
but
I
it will
think
take
you would
it will
be.
take a long, but it's okay. I'm just trying to prepare myself better for the
So
future.
you would want to be a monitor, travel all over the place,
Yeah, we'll try. I like travel.
like 20 days out of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
Right
living
now, I'm
out of a
saying yes.
suitcase.
But yeah,
All right.
I was right.
And okay, so CRA
Monitor. Yeah.
monitor.
I mean, at the long term. Yeah.
Yeah. Lana.
That was a deep question too.
I
Deep.
know.
Yeah.
Because it's changed.
Long term goal. I don't know mine actually. I know I want to do biotech stuff.
I mean, to me, it's just learning as much as I can with, the clinical trials guru himself.
Thank you.
Just learning and absorbing, and just so that, maybe one day with my business background, open up a site myself,
Seriously. All right.
but it'll only be a psych site.
Psych only.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
For
That's
real.
tough. In
I love it.
Yuma,
Yes.
there's only like 2 psychiatrists. Well, who knows by then? And who knows how
Exactly.
long term? Because these ones that are currently here will be retired probably.
And I'm pretty sure,
There's
with my
there's probably
resources, I
opportunity.
can
You could pull it off.
pull it off. Yeah.
And then I know yours, but you want to
Or
tell
like a
us.
crisis center where,
Or a combo of both.
correct. Something like that. Because we've had a couple here in Yuma, and they've, it's too packed.
So like a crisis center
Or-
and then have a research option.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
That
But
would.
psych only. That's your favorite.
Yes.
So I didn't even ask you guys about therapeutic areas, but what's your long-term goal for
Well, kind of the same as Lana's.
site
learning,
owner? Man, we got some entrepreneurs in here.
learning as much as I can, growing with the company,
And then moving with me back to San Diego.
back to
You
San
guys can
Diego.
do that, and then I'll stay here and hold the fort down,
Yeah.
and expand.
I'm pretty sure by
YCT
then,
Psych
if we prove
coming soon.
if we prove it can be done, there will be others coming out here trying to do the same thing.
Not in this
Yeah.
town. Not with me.
Well, not while we're still here.
I won't let that
but-
happen.
Okay, you won't.
I
That'll be your.
Bing,
We'll
bing.
pass the
God
guard.
forbid.
We'll pass
That's
the
not
guard to
happening.
Lana.
It's not in my town. No.
Okay, last thing, therapeutic areas. I know we haven't done that many yet because you guys are new, but we've opened up cardio, pulmonary. I'm trying to do oncology. I think I might have a connection through our cardiologist to do.
The
the oncologist.
diabetes, MDD.
So, what's been your favorite therapeutic condition so far?
I definitely love my psych more than
You love it. The
I love
More
depression.
than I like to be at
Ooh.
I want
the
more.
general.
Mine is the obesity
Yeah.
because it's new to me. I haven't done it. My whole
same.
life has been psych.
Psych. I get you.
But
But
yeah.
I
My
do
psych
think-
background, I enjoy it, and to me,
Wow.
it's not a lot of people know how to handle people with, these
mood disorders.
Correct, and to me, growing up with that, I'm already familiar with it, and to me, it's I'm not scared.
Mhm.
To me, it's like,
It's really
what else you
important
got?
to
I
have
wanna know
good,
more.
patient rapport.
Why? I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I want to
Interesting.
know your story, and I want to help you.
And the obesity is interesting to you guys too, or no? Not so much.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely
is.
have some interesting patients.
But
that
psych
come
by
with that
far
as
is like your
well.
favorite.
Yes.
I do prefer it. But I think so far what we've done with obesity is also pretty good and life changing
to
for
see
some.
to see the
So-
weight drop and for them to come in and be excited to jump on the scale rather opposed to being sad
Rather than
about
dreading
People were
it.
excited about it?
right. Yes.
Oh wow!
So I mean, I have with our patients that we do have, when we
So you
measure
get to see it
when we
firsthand.
measure them and those inches shed to see their smile and to see actually the progress
Wow.
is always nice.
So we had similar progress with depression,
Yes.
and you.
I mean, I will say of the studies that we have, like every study that has like a biomedical equipment. So yeah, like the
so
obesity and the
EEG.
depression ones is like I like seeing the
He likes the
equipment.
ECGs and the EEGs.
Oh,
Yeah,
you like
I like
equipment. You
those-
should
the
do like we
equipment,
can
yeah.
do device studies with the
So
cardiologist,
yeah, I
interventional
enjoy.
cardiologist.
But if I had to pick one, yeah, I will say the obesity just because of the
Wow,
ECG.
okay. All right.
It's the one that I enjoy the most.
But that just confuses me half the time. But I get by.
Why?
You just gotta look at the little diagram.
Yeah.
Right, but still, it's like, well, okay, well, what makes it okay, or what makes it not okay? Sometimes,
Cheat sheets.
with the results, it's not always clear. So as me, like I don't have that
We need a cheat sheet.
background on as
Like,
far
you
as
can-
how
like-
to
I
what's
get
good,
that.
what's bad.
Yeah.
Because like we could say, oh, this, and this, and how do you know? Okay,
And
well,
at the
is
end
that
of the day,
good?
when you show it to the doctor or the PA, they say like, "Oh no, this person cannot be here," or something
and
like
something
that.
that maybe I could have caught rather opposed to waiting for the PI to catch it. If I had
Like
the
on a
proper
screening.
training on like readings and stuff like that.
Ah,
Correct.
well, that comes with more time.
Yeah.
I think you're already learning stuff. I think me and Gracia Googled something once and about CKD. Remember chronic
Oh,
kidney
yeah.
disease? But we
We
found
learned
figured
the
it out
values,
ourselves.
the
Yeah.
values that had to be in the blood test
Yeah.
to see if they were.
I just felt that like we learn as we go.
Yeah, you learn as you
And
go. Me
that's
too.
the thing is like everything, not everything can be taught. As a CRC, you can't, in training, you can't show them everything that's gonna happen, that's gonna go on or happen because sometimes stuff just appear or
Things
you
change.
can't show it till it actually happens, and that might be
PI
not 2-3 months into
yeah,
your training.
You're learning all the time. Me too. And this next year is going to be 20 years that I'm doing research full time.
Oh,
But
congratulations!
well,
Happy
thank
20
you.
years.
Happy
20
20.
years. Yeah, next year. Right
half
now.
your
it's
life.
19.
Good.
That is
Slow
half your
your roll.
life
No,
you've done.
I'm 40.
So 20, that's half.
Wow, I never thought of it that way.
You
I
don't
thought I
know
was doing the
for a
math
second.
wrong. You made me feel like, wait, what?
I thought you meant half of your life, like time, 80 or 100. Oh, okay,
No,
I got
that's
you. Yeah,
half
because
your life.
wow, half my life's been doing this. Yeah, good way to put it. Guess we'll end on that note. But wow, forgot what else I was gonna say. Oh
Happy
yeah,
20 years.
the PI came because even he didn't know something, but I had already Googled it. And he was like, "Does anyone know what this is?" I was like, "Yeah, I know what that means." And see, he learned something too. And then I made cheat sheet for him because he asked for it. Like he's like, "I'm looking at all these labs. I don't know what each sponsor wants. Can you make me a cheat sheet just for the labs?" So I gave him one for each. And now he actually uses those. Like each time he signs, he looks at the cheat sheets too to see what's there. So everybody's learning too.
Yeah, I feel like that's like just life. You learn as you go.
Yeah.
Nothing's taught. You kind of got to go through your own experiences to
Yeah.
And then learn from
Learn.
it. Yep.
The next steps for you guys to learn how to get studies. And you too.
It's
And Nato, shout out to Nato, one of our sponsors.
lovely.
And Nato's pretty cool. You like it, Nato.
Oh yes.
They're a sponsor. So.
It's the recruitment of studies. It's how to word, you gotta sound, make
Gotta
them
sell.
make them want it. You gotta believe it. Yeah.
Gotta sell.
You
Yeah.
gotta sell it. Our site alone, people do know we're on the smaller side, so we gotta make it seem like, we know what we're doing and we got it. And
Do you think we
all
need to
do.
hire? Do you think we need to hire admin? Yes or no? Just real quick.
No.
no, we don't need another
admin?
Admin.
No.
Yes, but I don't know. Not yet. Not yet.
Well, we
Not
can do-
yet.
I think it's in the air.
And
Yeah.
to us, especially the three of us, we'll tell you when we've had enough, or we're
It's overwhelming.
when we start needing help, yeah.
Yeah, but right now, between us, we all have each other's back, and if one person didn't do it, then we don't be like, oh, well, we do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my task.
It's not my task.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. This was a good podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, share. I would tell you to go follow them on LinkedIn, but I think only Luis. No, not even.
Coming soon.
I got LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
So just follow me for now. Bye-bye. Hey, if you guys like that kind of content, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Stay tuned for more videos.